And money is on Blake Lively being wrong. No matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
Blackmail, extortion, boycotting, or maybe even a full-blown love triangle? The Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case just took another wild turn, and the latest receipts against Blake will have you wondering, could she actually—
It's like a Hollywood true crime. We're getting pieces coming out,
right,
every lawsuit and every complaint that are filling us in on what actually happened. And that's what I think myself and so many people are invested in. I didn't know who this Justin Baldoni guy was. No offense, didn't really care.
Right.
But the more I'm learning about what Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds seemingly did, they're trying to cover up a crime. That's what I really do think is happening here.
Be facing criminal charges? And then there's Taylor Swift again. We already know she's been dragged into this mess, but the more receipts drop, the more it looks like she had her hands in this from the very start. And yes, that means she might be just as guilty as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Speaking of Ryan, this new evidence really makes you wonder, is he just standing by his wife and her allegations against Justin? Or has—
To your point about the alleged, sex tension between these two, if you look at the full complaint, there are texts between them that go on and on about their connection and how he really likes her. He loves this version of her, but he loves the other version of her too, at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm telling you, it's felt flirty to me.
Has he been on a personal mission to take Justin down because there was actually a secret romance brewing between Blake and Justin? As the Blake and Justin case heats up, more damning evidence is surfacing, making things look worse for Blake by the day.
Now, all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
But beyond the receipts from Justin's legal team, insiders with the real scoop are now coming forward, exposing what actually went down on the It Ends With Us set. And thanks to Candace Owens, who's made it her mission to dig up the truth, it's looking like Blake and Ryan had a plan to take down Justin and take over his film long before Blake even filed her lawsuit. But before we get into why Blake might be facing criminal charges, we have to talk about Taylor Swift, because she was involved from the very start. Justin claims Blake and Ryan used Taylor to pressure him into accepting script rewrites, despite his role as the film's writer, producer, and director. And remember, when Blake called herself the Great Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, saying Ryan and Taylor were her two dragons? Well, it seems Taylor wasn't happy about being dragged into the drama. Shortly after, a Daily Mail headline popped up. Exclusive: Taylor Swift taking a step back from Blake Lively as legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. At first glance, it's just gossip, but insiders, including Candace Owens, believe Taylor herself planted the story. And if that's true, it changes everything. So clearly, Taylor might be trying to wash her hands of this whole mess, but the article had some very interesting claims. For one, it said that Taylor felt used by Blake, like she was some kind of pet or possession. That whole "I'm Khaleesi and I have dragons" text Blake sent to Justin. Yeah, apparently, Taylor did not appreciate being used as an intimidation tactic. But was Taylor really used to pressure Justin? Because here's where things get even more interesting.
Let me tell you something that is well known in Hollywood, is that Taylor Swift has plugs, especially at the Daily Mail, when she wants to get a narrative out. The person that works for her is this woman named Tree, and Tree is allegedly vicious. She will protect Taylor Swift's reputation by any means necessary, and they fold. Okay, the editors, the writers, journalists, when she says put something in the mail, it gets done. And I'm not saying that part allegedly, that is a fickety fact.
The same article also says Taylor shouldn't even be involved in this at all. She was only visiting Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. So basically, Taylor was never supposed to be part of the conversation between Blake, Ryan, and Justin. But here's the real question: if she wasn't meant to be in the meeting, why didn't she just wait for it to be over? Because now, it's looking like she inserted herself into the drama anyway. But here's where things get really interesting, and honestly, a little creepy. According to Candace Owens, Taylor Swift may have had a hand in another major article, the New York Times piece that destroyed Justin Baldoni. At first, it seemed like pure speculation. But when internet detectives came across this clip, they had
peer pressured him to make a change that he didn't want to make to his movie. So her follow-up text, which reads like a psycho, obviously, I'm Khaleesi, these are my dragons. She said it because you did something, okay? He clearly texted and said you didn't have to do
their aha moment. In the clip, a guy is seen saying "sleep tight" to Taylor. And guess who that guy is? Ronan Farrow. Yep, the same Ronan Farrow who exposed Harvey Weinstein and is basically considered the godfather of the Me Too movement. Even the Daily Mail previously reported that Taylor and Ronan have a very close friendship. So why is this important? Because, according to Candace Owens, Ronan has worked for the New York Times, the same publication that ran the bombshell report accusing Justin Baldoni of misconduct. And Candace isn't buying that Blake and Ryan have enough star power to pull strings at the New York Times. But you know who does? Taylor Swift. In her own words, Blake Lively does not have the star power to get the New York Times to put their professional reputation on the line to smear Justin Baldoni, but Taylor Swift, she absolutely could. And here's where it gets even crazier. The clip of Taylor and Ronan was taken in November 2024, 1 month before the New York Times article dropped. So now, internet detectives are asking, did Taylor Swift collude with Blake and Ryan to run the New York Times piece, destroy Justin's reputation, and steal his film? Because if all of this is true, this next piece of evidence could change everything, and might even land Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in jail. A Reddit post from 6 months ago just resurfaced, and what's wild is that it contains exact details about the scandal before it ever became public. Which means, someone on the inside knew what was happening way before the rest of the world did. And if this Reddit post is legit, then Blake may have done some seriously illegal stuff. Blake allegedly blackmailed Sony, threatening to go to the New York Times with claims against Justin unless she got her version of the film. Sony gave in, yet she went public with her allegations anyway. Justin was banned from Sony's lot, and Blake hired Taylor Swift's music video editors. When A-listers like Ben Affleck and Bradley Cooper found her cut confusing, she brought in an experienced editor to fix it. Taylor also allegedly forced Sony to fire the original composer just to keep her song in the film. Now the big question, did Blake commit a crime? Because if blackmail happened, this isn't just celebrity drama, it's criminal. Was Ryan Reynolds jealous of Blake and Justin? Some say yes, and Candace Owens' investigation supports the theory. While Blake filmed It Ends With Us, Ryan was away shooting Deadpool vs. Wolverine. Allegedly, when he returned, he read Blake's texts, dailies, or scripts, and decided to halt the whole production. The Deadpool movie even seems to mock Justin Baldoni, like the scene where Ryan jokes about Lady Poole just having a baby, referencing Blake's real-life situation and her now debunked, fat-shaming accusation against Justin. Another line about a dog shopping for a new papa hints at Blake shopping for a new husband. Ryan also made awkward interview comments, like, "Not every day does a husband get to interview his wife's love interest in a film." Fans are now calling him and Blake bullies and manipulators, just like his Deadpool co-star T.J. Miller, who said Ryan humiliated him on set. So was Ryan's real motive to destroy Justin out of jealousy? And is Blake's alleged blackmailing of Sony a crime? Let us know what you think.